So my name is Erik Soderblom. I'm the director of the Proteomics and Metabolomics core facility here at Duke University School of Medicine. My background is an analytical chemist, which I've been in this field for about 18 years now here at Duke. So we are a core facility here, a centralized sort of analytical support platform for investigators, mostly here at Duke University. So we have components of both proteomics and metabolomics. In the proteomics space, we do a lot of differential expression proteomics, post-translational modification characterization, and protein interaction. In addition to that, we also support sort of new, sort of evolving or emerging capabilities, such as low input material like single cell proteomics, laser captured microdissection, and larger scale sort of biomarker discovery from clinical cohorts. Our main platform is again mass spectrometry, of which we have various different types depending on the exact question being asked. So our core facility, one of the challenges of our core facility is that we see lots of different types of samples that come through the door, and many different questions from many different investigators. Because of that, we require sort of a high uptime on our analytical platform because we're constantly moving from one project to the next. So stability and robustness, specifically for the LC separation, is critical for our operation to maintain low turnaround times and continue through our queue. The Evosep has been absolutely critical in that sense. We see much lower downtime with the Evosep than we would with classical sort of 75 micron capillary LC separations, which has allowed us to continue higher uptime. And it does that while maintaining very, very good performance in terms of separation, sort of precision, chromatographic performance, which is critical when combined with latest generation, specifically label-free quantitation. And it's been an incredibly stable, robust platform for us over the years. And it's instrumental in continuing our sort of workflows from project to project. I think the biggest benefit of the Evosep is, again, in this ability to essentially safeguard your analytical column and all the downstream components that are sensitive to impurities or contaminants by having their mechanism of basically single-use disposable trapping tips. This has, again, led to an incredible sort of improvement in robustness over the years. Although we try to spend a lot of time on sort of maximizing efficiency of sample preparation and designing a lot of sort of workflows that keep our samples fairly clean, it's inevitable that at some point you're going to have some dirtying of samples or things that aren't partially digested. The Evosep does a great job at sort of accounting for that and helping to keep the rest of the platform clean. And again, all doing that while maintaining sort of a high level of chromatographic separation and performance. We have very high uptime with very few sort of issues at all with our chromatographic separations at this point. So with the newer generation of mass spectrometry, we're seeing faster scanning instruments like on this Orbitrap Astral with narrow window DIA. We see a shift towards these type of acquisition approaches for quantitation. That type of quantitation inherently requires a high level of performance on your separation. So poor chromatography will lead to poor quantitation and or identification performance on your mass spectrometer. So it's critically important that that upstream sort of separation part of the whole puzzle is locked down and working particularly well. The Evosep routinely will consistently perform at a high level of chromatographic separation. So peak shapes, retention time stability, peak widths, the more consistent you can make that, the better quantitation you're getting on the back end. We track these type of metrics through various quality controls, so the internal, external system suitability prior to even running large studies. And over time, I think because of the stability of the tip-based protocol, safeguarding the analytical separation, we see this really high level of consistent performance, which again couples well with downstream quantitation. And we see routinely high level of quantitation based on these separation characteristics. I think that the advancements we're seeing on the mass spectrometry side, which is faster acquisitions, narrower peak shapes, more sensitivity, is critical for moving this forward. So when we get to these larger thousands of sample type cohorts, we're going to need to do so in a faster format. So the instrumentation itself, the mass spectrometry instrumentation, has taken taking a large leap forward in that domain, right? Where we can collect data now in tens or 15 minutes per sample. We need our chromatographic systems to be able to keep up with that. And obviously some of your methods of SPT 200 or 500 will absolutely come into play when we get into being able to translate these faster collection methods on these next-gen mass spectrometers. Yeah, absolutely. So again, I think one of the key sort of factors in proteomics and making it increasing its impact in biomedical research is stability. So having methodologies and methods that we can translate, so across different labs or even within a single lab, maybe with multiple instrumentation or setups, is critical, right? So if we can use the same column using the same method, and that could be replicated in another laboratory using, the same idea, we could increase this sort of transferability of data that we might generate here in North Carolina to someplace halfway across the world, right? So having these type of instrumentation available that you can sort of add to this stability is critical, I think.